So the first thing would be to just offer yourself that opportunity to connect to that which is greater than who and what you have imagined yourself to be. And just let it be a light exploration. Don't turn this into a heavy thing where it's like sometimes people do this and then they freak out, right? They're like, "Oh, I'm this is one. This is a popular one. I'm all alone." I did that one for a while. I'm all alone. It's so terrible. I'm all alone. If that happens, if that comes up, just know. So allow yourself to just explore openly, to let go of whatever you think you know, right? Because that idea that, and if that makes no sense to you, that's good for you. But for some people, that will make sense because some people have that concern. They're like, I'm all alone. It's the worst thing. But that's something you think you know, right? And by clinging to that, it limits you. So notice how liberating it could be to just let go, not to get rid of it, but just to be willing to let go of the certainty that you know anything about that. And then this could open you to a discovery of what you previously had not realized was even there. And this can be a real learning. So it's not just a memorization of a formula that somebody else gives you, because somebody else can give you the formula, right? Somebody can say, we're all one, it's all one, yada, yada, da, da, da. And that can be like a narcotic that you can use for a while where you're like, oh, isn't it nice? We're all holding hands. We're all one. God is one. God is love. Da, 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 da. Oh, I'm so happy. But then it strikes you, you're like, I'm all alone. And you feel, this terror. So then, okay, so let go of what you think you know, let go of the formulas. And then, okay, there's the direct reality of what's actually here, which is not aloneness. Aloneness is an overlay, it's an idea that it's the polarity of we're all one, right? We're all one, I'm all alone. We're all one, I'm all alone. You can bounce back and forth between those polarities for a long time and suffer greatly. Or you could finally allow yourself the freedom of not knowing and then learning. And that learning is not a formula. It could be turned into a formula, right? Because you could have that realization and then you could decide you're going to start your own YouTube channel and you're going to share with the world, we're all one. We're not, there's no loneliness, we're all one. And then people will say, well, they'll chant, we're all one, we're all one, we're all one. It's the new formula. But for you, the realization is authentic. It's not a formula. It's because you've learned it. So this is the inner. This is the focus on the inner. I was intending something a little bit different today. I was going to talk about. I did the setup for it was going to be a balance about the inner and the outer. I barely just scratched the surface of the inner because we went so kind of deep in a direction that I was not exactly anticipating, but that's where it went. So I trust that was where it was that for the best. So hopefully I did not blow your minds in some sort of unpleasant way for you. Hopefully this was gentle and reassuring, and so that's it. So just to recap, um, bring more attention to the inner. Just to round it out, I'll say the punchline here, which maybe we'll get to some other day, was that it is a balance. Okay, so I'm not advocating for taking no outer action. That's its own problem. So don't think that I'm suggesting just sit on your keister and just be one, that's nice and all. And if that gives you the results that you want, that's fine and good. But for most of us, it is a balance because there will be outer actions that will arise to take, when the bills come, probably if you want to keep the house, pay the bills, so there are outer actions. If you're married and you'd like to stay married, probably useful to respond to your spouse when they try to communicate with you, things like that. So there are outer actions that that it's useful and appropriate to take, but most of us have erred on the side of too much focus on the outside and not enough attention on the inside. And so the putting more attention on the inside and noticing through awareness that you can learn, that you can actually just learn and discover, because life is actually presenting you with the opportunities. Really, really is. It's amazing that life it's consistent. Life is presenting exactly the opportunities for exactly the learning that you most deeply desire. And it's really perfect in that way. But you have to be willing to do your part by putting the attention there.